name's Matt Lysett. I'm a patrol officer with the Oregon City Police Department here in Oregon City, Oregon, and I've been employed with Oregon City for just over 6 years, and prior to that I had just over 3 years of patrol work at the city of Westland, so about a little over 9 years total. So it was just a couple weeks ago. It was an ordinary day on patrol. There was nothing that stood out as being any different than days prior, years prior, and a neighboring agency got me over onto a different radio channel that we could just talk freely on, and told me that there was a subject from his town that had reportedly been reported as a suicidal subject from her friends, and that she had just made a phone call from the Safeway here in town. Wanted me to go by and check the location and see if she was there and just do a standard welfare check on her, and it was a pretty simple standard call. I mean, that's something that we deal with almost on a daily basis, is welfare checks, suicidal subjects and stuff. So there was nothing that stood out as anything different or out of the ordinary. So I went over to go do a welfare check on her, and a couple minutes later, while I was en route to the Safeway, I passed her vehicle, and so I turned around on her and I just did a normal traffic stop like you would anytime, and it was as simple. To me, it was going to be a simple welfare check. Hey, how are you doing? Okay, is there anything we can do to help you? And if there's anything we can do to help you, we'll reach out to whatever resources those are, and we'll get you the help needed. And if you're fine and there's nothing that you need, then I'll send her on her way if I deem that she's not a risk to herself. And so I made the traffic stop on her, and we pulled into a parking lot, and got out of my car like it was a normal traffic stop, and I walked around the trunk of my car and I started walking up on the passenger side of her car. I don't really know why I did that, but I did. It's a lot of times we do driver's side approaches where we talk to them at the driver's side, but for some reason I did it on the passenger side this time. And as I'm walking up, I get within you to me, maybe 6 feet. I see that she's got a gun in her mouth. She's kind of got it gripped with both hands with her thumbs on the trigger, and she's just looking straight ahead into her steering wheel or dash area. So I back out. I get to cover so that I'm in a safe spot, and I just try to get dialogue going with her, and I'm calling out to her and just trying to get any response from her whatsoever. And she just kept looking straight at that steering column and made no attempt to communicate with me, and did that for about a minute before she ended up taking her life in front of me. It was kind of the end of it. Happened real fast. There was nothing I could have done. I knew that there was nothing I could have done differently. So we worked the scene. We got in there, got additional officers there, and approached safely so that we could get to her, because we wanted to make sure that if there was a chance, we got her the medical care that she needed. But at the same time, we had to make sure that we were safe while approaching the car, so we had to slow it down. It took a little while, but within a few minutes we were able to secure the scene and get her medical care. But it was pretty obvious at that point that that wasn't going to change the outcome of the situation. And I just remember hanging out for a little while. Our chaplain showed up, Chuck Bowman, and I've known him for years now. So he showed up, checked on me, and hung out with me for a little while, which was nice. And then shortly thereafter I went home, and that was the end of my work day. It's weird, you just go home and it's kind of like, it's the end of my work day. And you try to go on like it's nothing, but it affects you. I remember I was walking through Fred Meyer the next day, and I was looking at all the people shopping, and I was wondering what was going on in their life, what was happening in the last 24 hours in their life, and what did they witness, what did they see. And we just really don't know what anybody has going on in their life. It was just kind of it was a wake up for me, I guess, because here I was 24 hours ago watching some gal take her life in front of me, and then I'm supposed to be shopping at Fred Meyer and be normal like everybody else. So since then, you know, I still have vivid images of what I saw. I still remember walking up and seeing her with a gun in her mouth, and still remember the sound of the gunshot and stuff. But it starts to fade with time, which is, I guess, good. But it's still there. And, in the coming days, Chuck Bowman, he came out and checked in on me, the chaplain. You know, he responded out to the scene that day and hung out with me, and that was a good support system to have right away. And then he's followed up with me a couple times, which has been nice, and just came in and hung out and sat down, and he had a cup of coffee, or I think it was hot chocolate for him. We just sat and talked for an hour last week, so it's been nice to have him stopping in.